Hey, what is going on, guys? So today's Monday. It's been a few Mondays since the last video. Thank you, Jonathan, my brother-in-law. I saw him for Father's Day, and he was saying, there's people who are looking forward to seeing your videos, so you got to get back on that. So I really appreciate that, Jonathan. Thank you for those kind words. For me, I'm always trying to work on myself. And I find that I want to get myself to a certain place before I share that information with you, so that way I can come from a place of knowledge and say, well, this is what I've learned. I put it into practice. This is how I feel. And if you do these things, that they'll work out for you too, as opposed to hearing something, explaining it to you, not yet trying it, and not being able to really give you any feedback. But I think that might be the wrong approach, to be honest, because there's something that I've learned one of these days that passed that you could have started using already. So I want to talk to you guys about what I've been doing lately. It's quite a few things I've been doing. All right, so the first thing is I started running. I hate running, but I started doing it because my son wants to join JV soccer, and he has to run a certain amount of time for the mile, 2 mile actually. So I started running that because I want to be right there with him when it happens. I'm hoping that I can actually encourage him to run a bit faster because I've already gotten myself to, being in excellent running shape. I started earthing. So if you've never did earthing before or you don't know what it is, it's grounding. So grounding is where you are essentially standing on the grass with no shoes on, and your body is being grounded by doing that. Now, what that does is when you ground, there is a negative charge and then there's a positive charge, which is what we hold. We unfortunately are dealing with so much of a positive charge that is causing inflammation in our body. So inflammation is where you have, pain. You can't really you can't move too well. You're bogged down. There's a lot of things that inflammation can do to you. So earthing helps relieve that. So I've been earthing. I've been running. I've been meditating. I'm about 2 weeks into meditating, and it's interesting how there's a cycle. The cycle is things that come to you at certain times during the year. So you'll find that maybe at the beginning of the year, you're excited about exercising. Most people aren't, but there's a certain time when you want to exercise. There's something in your body telling you, and then that fades, and then there's a season of something else that comes up, and you may find that you want to spend more time outdoors. Typically that would happen in springtime, and then summer happens and you want to spend more time maybe by the water. So there's things that your body wants that typically would only happen during certain seasons. So I'm going to bring up meditating because I do find it to be extremely important. I feel so good. I feel amazing. And it's because I've been meditating, it's because I'm earthing, it's because I believe those things are making me feel good. So, the same way that you might have something in your life that you believe makes you feel bad, every time you come in contact with it, you in fact feel bad. That's what you're expecting to happen. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So, if there's a situation where two ones are together, we're going to then have 2 as the outcome. You get to choose what that outcome is. That can be difficult to understand because you would just assume that everyone who is in that situation is going to feel that way. But there are people who don't. So there's a lot to unpack there with changing your mind on how things work and how you look at things. But for me, I feel amazing. And I see so many of you just having a really tough time, but you're not taking the time to do anything to improve what's going on. And I get it, right? If I felt crummy, then what are the chances that I'm going to want to go out for a walk? What are the chances that I'm going to want to learn anything to make me feel better? The chances would be slim. And that's where most of us are. So I am also taking this supplement called berberine. So it's a natural supplement and it helps reduce inflammation. I have cut back on my total carbohydrates drastically. That cuts back on inflammation. So there's a lot of things that I'm doing that is reducing inflammation and helping me to feel young. I feel so young. I'm telling you, it's incredible. Um, and I guess it shows. I had I'm gonna say kids, but they were in their 20s. We're having a conversation. We're talking about cars, and one of the kids then asked about insurance on the car, and so I told him what I paid for my S2000, and he's like, "Wow, that's really cheap." And I said, "Do you know how old I am?" I said, "I could be your father." I said, "How old are you?" So he goes, "Oh, I'm 19." I'm like, "Bro, I'm going on 42," and they were like, "What?" They were like, "Oh man, you look so young. You look like you're 30." I'm telling you, I feel amazing. But there's a lot of things that I have to do to continue feeling that way. If I stopped running altogether, I stopped earthing, I stopped working out at the gym, I started eating tons of carbohydrates, I guarantee you I will feel like crap. And that's what most of us are doing. And we can't get out from under that because we're just too bogged down. We don't even want to take the time to learn anything. So if you're having difficulty with any part of your life, I would highly just suggest starting with earthing. It's one of the easier things to do. You just go outside with no shoes on and you just stand on the grass. It sounds crazy, but if you take some time to do some research, you'll see how much it helps reduce inflammation, which is most of our problems, right? You have back pain, you have ankle pain, you have knee pain. Um, any of those pains can help be reduced by earthing. But here's the thing, you have to believe that it's going to make a difference. If you can believe it's going to make a difference, because it's what's called the placebo effect. If you can believe it's going to make a difference, and there's scientific evidence showing that there is a difference, you will reap much better benefits. So I didn't mean to make this video too long, but I miss you guys and know that I'm working on a lot. I am working on myself. If you've ever watched Avatar before, there's this character, his name is Aang, and I swear I am going to become Aang. And at some point, I'm going to have an arrow on the top of my head. And my friend Anthony said I already have the head for it, which was great. I got a good laugh out of that. But I want you guys to be happy. But I'm telling you, there's things that you have to do. You got to take these steps towards making yourself happy. There's nothing outside of it. There's nothing outside, external, that's going to change your whole life around that internally you couldn't do on your own. So getting new things is great. I love to get new things, but the stuff that I'm doing now, this is really meaningful. I am very close to finally getting Reiki certified. My sister brought it up, and it's been a while, and I put it on the back burner. And I was meditating the other day, and the meditation, the things that the gentleman was talking about when I was listening, sounded so much like Reiki, and I was like, wow, this is all coming together. It's one thing after another, but I'm really working on getting myself to a different place than I am right now. I'm happy, but if there's a place to be happier than this, I want to be there, and I want you guys to be there with me. But it's going to take small steps. It's going to take asking questions. There's got to be somebody around you who could be a positive influence on you. And I love to make these videos, and I wish I could be there with you all the time. But there has to be somebody around you who you may say, I don't get it. Why are they happy all the time? Spend some time with them. Take them out to lunch. Say, hey, listen, can we go to lunch? I just want to ask you a couple of questions about your day. You know, what things are you doing? Spend more time with that person because it is contagious. The wanting and feeling happy, it happens when you're around people like that. So I want to affect as many people as possible because I know that happiness is just literally a few steps away. It's taking the time to take a little bit of time for yourself to do these things that can make you feel better. I feel amazing. I want you to feel amazing. And I will talk to you guys soon. So please, if there's one thing that I can ask you to do, spend at least 15 to 20 minutes a day outside, no shoes on, with just your feet touching the earth. That's all you have to do. It's really simple. And I promise you, you will start to feel better. All right, guys, have a great day.